Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the YouTube live stream of CET preparation classes. Here, Mrs. Ashumati Deshmukh is going to help you out, is going to guide you for Chemistry, Science and Technology Part 1, Lesson number 2, Periodic Classification of Elements. Before starting with this, I know next 2 minutes children will take to join in. So I want to congratulate every student passed with very good marks this year and has planned to join CET entrance exam. So all the students, congratulations. Now after results, you might be in a state of mind that yes, I have to attempt the CET examination. So you have prepared your mind completely to start with the full-fledged the practice of CET. And here our school, SV Union High School, welcomes you all for the preparation with chemistry. Let us start with second lesson, periodic classification of elements, chemistry. So how will be the questions? First, coming to CET, as it is of 100 marks, 25 questions will be based on science and technology, and from that 1, 2, 3 some questions might be from this lesson. The lesson is so big and only 2-3 questions. So children, do you understand how important it is to go in the deep of the lesson? The whole year you have studied this lesson. Now you only have to go with the different part of study, that is MCQ, because you have prepared yourself for writing the answer 40 marks question. Now CET has got MCQ questions and you all are aware of MCQ questions because the whole year in some of the schools the online examination might have conducted. So you all are prepared with how to solve MCQs. But this CET will be offline. Mostly if it is offline, then it is going with the OMR answer sheet. Now what is this OMR answer sheet? Many of you might have appeared for many Olympiads, entrance exams or even scholarship. There you have used your pencil and you keep on darkening the circles. So it might be something like that if you are going for offline. If the exam is online, then you all know because the whole year you have practiced with the exam. So first leave the tension of how the exam for 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever it will be. Now you only have to concentrate on the studies. In a science question paper, question first A always comes with MCQ, multiple choice question. Okay, so here also there will be 25 same type of questions based on the complete syllabus of science. So today with lesson 2, I am here to guide you all how to learn, how to go with the important notes of this lesson and some of the MCQ practices we are going to start. Okay, so I'll come with sharing my screen with a presentation for you. There I will explain you first the important points of this lesson and then we will continue with solving MCQ questions. Children, when I said that we are going with important notes, what MCQ questions exactly are? Remember, those are the one-liners. We call them as one-liners or objective type of questions. So as these all are objective type of questions, reading the lesson is very important. Every statement, try to find out, fill in the blanks, true or false, analogy, name the following, okay, all these type of questions. So it will be very easy for you to understand how you are going to practice for the lesson. You can have your important notes, start getting your important notes, make your own notes, make one-line statements amongst all this, and then that will be your own notes. Remember children, reading the lesson and making your own notes is the best study method. Okay, so here I will start with this lesson. I will share some of the important points and then we will go with MCQs. I hope you all can see my screen where you can see the PowerPoint presentation of the lesson. Okay, Standard 10, Science and Technology Part 1, second lesson, periodic classification of elements. MCQs I have taken. Total we are going to have some of the MCQs as a practice test. Okay, and we will go with some important points also. So the screen is in front of you where I have shown you some periodic table in a gist. Okay, so if you want to remember a periodic table a little bit, see, these are something you need to understand here. Okay, let us move to the next one. Summary or the important points. See children, here I have written the summary. So we'll just go with the gist. First, the lesson starts with classification of element. What is classification? How the elements are, how many elements are, that everything you know. What you need to remember is Dobereiner triads and Newland's octaves. Now in Dobereiner triads, the triad examples are given to you. Please go with that. Try to find out average, how the average is given, okay, and even Newland's octaves, how the 7 sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa is given, okay. But for here, as in summary, what you need to remember, classification of Dobereiner triads and Newland's is based on atomic mass, because till that time atomic number concept was not invented, not discovered, okay. Then the work is started with Mendeleev, and Mendeleev's periodic law has come into existence, and the law says that the physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic masses. So here also Mendeleev tried, and he tried with Dobereiner's triads and Newland's octave and tried to set them in a proper way to show that the physical and chemical properties of elements, which we call it as a trend, is important for arranging the table. Then it comes with modern periodic law. Okay, after Mendeleev's work, modern periodic law came into existence. Now this periodic law was stated as the tabular classification, the physical and chemical properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic numbers. Remember students, with modern periodic law, the number word is very important. Before that, only atomic masses were there. When atomic numbers are stated, after Mendeleev's work, atomic number was discovered. And then the table was rearranged with the atomic numbers. Then the modern periodic table is based on the law. The tabular classification of elements on the basis of modern periodic law is called as modern periodic table. It is also known as long form of periodic table, because the table was previously done by Mendeleev and changes were made into that. Okay, so this is about modern periodic table. Then we have structure of the modern periodic table, and here the lesson starts with, right? To understand the lesson, let us make some important points summarized. Structure of the modern periodic table. The horizontal rows are called as periods. Here I showed you the this in one all periods, but only with first group. So these, if you will extend horizontally, you will come to know that these are the periods. So here this goes with a period in this way. The horizontal rows are called as periods. Mendeleev called them as series. Okay, and the vertical columns, when we go down, from top to bottom, the vertical columns are called as groups. There are 7 periods and total 18 groups in the modern periodic table. Next, let us understand the table. The table I have shown here to make it little easier to understand. The overall shape of modern periodic table shows that it is divided into 4 blocks. Okay, if you'll come here children, 2 groups on the left form S block. So see here, these 2 groups which are here, they make S block. Then come to the extreme right of the table. Okay, in the extreme right of the table, you will see 6 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. These 6 groups form P block. How to remember? If you will remember the outline of the table in your mind, it becomes easy for you to recall these blocks, because when you are going to appear for the exam, for the MCQs, this table won't be shown to you. You need to memorize it. Okay, so extreme left, 2 groups are called as S block, 6 groups on the right constitute P block. Now let us come in the middle. Okay, the 10 groups in the middle form D block. So here you can see D blocks. So total groups 2 plus 6 plus 10, 18 groups in total. Okay, now what is there in the down, okay, at the bottom, what is there? This is F block element. Okay, F block contains total 28 elements. See children, these are not groups. F block is not a group. Groups are done with S, P and D. Then what are these? These are actually series. These are the two series which are included in F block. So F block total contains 28 elements which are divided into two series at the bottom of the periodic table. Now the first series is of 14 elements if you will count, and the second series is of 14 elements. These first 14 elements are lanthanides and second series is actinide. How to remember these names? See here La. If you have the textbook and if you go with your modern periodic table, you will come to know. La stands for lanthanum, that is lanthanides, and Ac stands for actinum, that is actinide. So these are the two series which are included in the F block. So the overall structure of modern periodic table has got 4 blocks: S, P, D and F block. Now it is up to you how you will remember, because many students recall with many different tracks. So you can find out your own tricks to remember this. This is just I have tried to explain. Next, let us come to main. What are the characteristic structures of this modern periodic table? What the modern periodic table is actually? Okay, when elements are arranged in an increasing order of atomic number, just let me revise, atomic number is Z. Periodicity is observed in the electronic configuration. What is this periodicity? What is periodicity means? When you go in a period, after that when you go to next period, same kind of characters are repeated again, and it is called as periodicity. Periodically, how the clock goes from 12 and come back to 12, in the same way periodically. A longer period. Now what is that periodicity? A longer period. A longer period, the atomic number increases by 1 and the electron is added to the outermost same shell. What is it? If I'll take this first group, this is second group, and in the same way we will come to seventh group. If I'll take first group contains only one K shell. Okay, and here you will find 1 electron for hydrogen and 2 electrons for helium. Then when you come to second period, in second period, K shell and next one more shell is added. So when you go with third period, you will get 3 shells, and in this way it will be continued till last. So this is what a longer period. The atomic number increases by 1, but the shell remains the same and electrons are added in the same shell till it completes its octet, that is 8. So here you will see why I have written here 8. Okay, here I have considered only S and P block elements. The middle D block elements are transition elements. Those I have not checked, because for 10th standard we don't have that much to go with. Okay, so here you will see in the second period, the first element here is having 1 electron in the outermost shell, then 2 electrons in the outermost shell, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and last, if you remember, this is inert gas or zero group, which contains 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So the electrons are added in the same shell in the same period. Okay, the next period begins with the addition of electron. Sorry, it is by mistake election written here. Please change it to electrons in the next shell. So when you come to next shell, next period, 1 shell increases and again 1 to 8 continuously keep adding in the same shell. Every period ends with complete octet configuration. So if you will see the last element of the period, you will see that every period ends with 8, and 8 is nothing but octet. You all know octet means stability. So it goes to the stability except only one, and that is helium with first period with 2 electrons, and we call it as duplet. Okay, so only first period has got duplet at the end, and rest all periods have got 8 electrons in the valence shell, that is the outermost shell. Valence shell, outermost shell. So this is about the electronic configuration to understand. Next, again, if you will have the periodic table in front of you, we will come to know about this. The first shell gets filled along the first period. It contains maximum 2 electrons with helium, just now I told you. Electrons are filled in the second shell along the second period. Second period begins with lithium, Z3, that is 2 and 1 as the electronic configuration, and ends up with neon with Z, that is atomic number 10, and the electronic configuration is 2,8. So only 2 shells with 2,8. That is second period. When you come to third period, and in the second period you will have total 8 elements. In the first period we have only 2 elements, remember. Okay? Here 8 elements. Electrons are filled in the third shell along the third. Na, Z is equal to 11. Na is, sodium. If we'll write electronic configuration of sodium, yes, it is 2, 8, 1. So 3 shells आ गए. अगर 3 shells आ गए तो यहाँ पे क्या हो गया? Third period. And argon ends with 2, 8, 8. So when you go from left to right in the periodic table, you will find starting with 1 electron and ending with 8 electrons. Again, how many elements are present there? 8 elements are present in the periodic table. So third period is a result of completion of third shell. When you come to fourth period, fourth and fifth period, you will find total 18 elements, whereas sixth and seventh period contains 32 elements in all. Let me take this. We'll go behind just to show you. See here. Now we'll come here. Check it. 1 and 2, only 2 electrons, only 2 elements in the first period. And you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the second period. Again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the third period. Children, that is why, see, remember this outline. And from this 1, 2, 3, 4, from this onwards you will find all 18. Now 18 are present only in 2. In 6 and 7, total I told you that there are 32 elements. How 32 elements? Because ये जो lanthanide series है, this lanthanide series is here and series contains 14 electrons. अभी already यहाँ पे 18 है, 18 plus 14. See, if you go in this way, it becomes very easy for you to remember or recall or to memorize. Okay, so 32 in 6th period, 32 in the 7th period. I hope now there won't be any problem in remembering, recalling this. I'm repeating again. First shell with 2 elements, second and third with 8, 8. So if I want to write down 2, 8, 8, 18, 18, 32, 32. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh group periods. Okay, so 7 periods with the number of elements. Next, let us come to multiple choice. This I have explained you only modern periodic table structure and the starting. Our lesson has got trends in the periodic table also that I will be taking little later on. I have divided the lesson into 2 short topics. Whatever we have studied till now, let us go with the quick multiple choice question and answer session. So here is the first question in front of you. Modern periodic table was found by. Okay, and the options are Dobberiner, Mayer, Mendeleev, and last is Moseley. So students, you can just quickly give the answer. Now these questions what I have written here, these are called as informative questions. Here you need not to apply any logic. Only you have to recall your memory. This is information. बस information याद करो और आपको answers लिखने. ठीक है? Dobberiner का आपको मालूम है this triad, Mendeleev's law and Moseley's. Yes. So the correct solution is Moseley. Now here, modern periodic table was found by Moseley on the basis of atomic number of elements. I just want to come to this Mayer. This name is not written anywhere in the textbook, but Mayer is related with, yes, classification of elements. After Dobberiner and Newlands, when Mendeleev started with the work of this modern periodic table, Mayer was also working with the same thing. But they both were completely unknown to each other. Okay, Mayr was working separately and Mendeleev was working separately. But as Mendeleev's work is completed first, so this table is called as Mendeleev's periodic table. But remember, Mayr was a scientist who first invented the word periodic trend, and then the periodic trend was continued with this. So here the correct answer is Moseley. Modern periodic table was found by him on the basis of atomic number. I hope you are set with the your places, and now we will go a little faster with the multiple choice questions, children. Second question comes in front of you. The modern periodic table is arranged according to their, as we have discussed everything, so here you can give quick answers: atomic mass, atomic number, atomic radius, valency. See, the options confuses us. Okay, atomic, but your definitions of this must be clear. What is atomic mass, what is atomic number, what is atomic radius, and valency is something different. Okay, so the solution, the answer for this is yes, atomic number. Just now in the previous slide we have read this. So according to modern periodic table, physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic number. Let us come to third multiple choice. How many periods are present in modern periodic table? Just now we have revised, so it might be easy for you to write the give the answer right now. लेकिन एग्जाम में याद रहना चाहिए. Okay, so revision is a must. 6, 8, 7, 9. See, when the options are not given, you are fit with the answers. लेकिन option आते ही फिर से confusion हो जाता है. So revision is a must, children. Yes. For you all, I have shown here. I'm showing here the modern periodic table. Remember, I'm repeating again. In the examination, this won't be given to you. As we are discussing here, so I'm keeping this in front of you. How you will recall the answer? Okay. How many periods are present? Yes. The correct solution is C7. Let us go to the next question. Which of the following is the longest row in the modern periodic table? Longest row. Row is series which is equal to period. Remember this. Okay. Fourth, fifth, sixth और third. कुछ बच्चों ने आंसर तैयार रखा होगा. Before I will explain, it's good. If you have done it, well and good. If you have not, this is a clue for you. Okay. So the table is in front of you. How many? Which is the longest row? चलो ठीक है. Solution. Sixth. Where is the sixth row or sixth period? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As we have discussed, 6 and 7 are the longest way. Right. 32, 32. Now 6 and 7 both are correct, but here option 7th नहीं दिया है. Option दिया है fourth. Fourth option में क्या है? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth में कितने हैं? 18. Option दिया है fifth. 18. Option is third. 8. So 8, 18, 18, 32. 32 is the longest with 6 as the option. Okay. Let us come to the next one. How many groups are present in modern periodic table? In the same way as we have discussed for periods, this is for groups. 10, 16, 18, 20. How many groups are there? See children, now if you remember SPDF blocks, then you will recall it very easily. S block, how many groups are present? D block, how many groups are present? F block, groups are there or not? P block, how many groups are present? So with that, if you will revise that, you will get the exact answer very quickly. Still the clue is kept in front of you. And the groups are, yes, 18 groups in all in the modern periodic table. Okay. So this is our question 5 we have completed. Let us go to question number 6. Which one of the following is incorrect statement? Now see children, this is also informative only. But many a times what happens, we in a hurry do not read the question properly and we keep on checking out the correct statement. So please read the question very properly. Whatever 1 minute you have got for the question, at least 20 seconds, minimum 20 seconds you should utilize for reading and understanding the question. Okay, for the time management. So which one of the following is incorrect statement? Oh, I'm sorry, just a minute. Total number of known elements are 118. The modern periodic table is arranged according to atomic number. The modern periodic table is arranged according to atomic mass. The long form of periodic table can accommodate 118 elements. Okay, so the 4 sentences are given to you. Try to find out which is incorrect one. Total number of known elements are 118. Yes. Okay, so let us go with the solution directly. I hope your answer must be ready. So here is my answer also. The answer is the modern periodic table is arranged according to atomic number of elements and not on the atomic mass. So C is the incorrect statement but correct option. Okay, next. Let us go to next multiple choice. Which one of the following is incorrect about long form of periodic table? Now we'll say that madam हमको अभी पता चल गया incorrect क्या है. But how the question is twisted? Here long form of periodic table word is used. So children, while revising you should remember these names also. Okay, which one of the following is incorrect? Again we have to find out the wrong statement, which will be your correct option. The table has 8 period and 16 group. The table has 7 period and 18 group. The elements on the right side of the periodic table are non-metals. The elements in the middle are transition elements. Till now we have been to discuss about transition elements and non-metals. I am going to have it quickly after 2-3 multiple choices. But as you have studied the lesson, you know about it. चलो मैं इसलिए बात कर रही हूँ. I thought your answer must be ready. Okay, you might have gone through all these sentences. So the correct answer for you all is A. The table has 8 period and 16 group, which is a incorrect statement about long form of periodic table. Rest all are the correct statements. Okay, let us go to the next one. The elements present in the bottom of the periodic table are called as. Okay, bottom of the periodic table. S block elements, P block elements, D block elements, F block elements. Now, मुझे लगता है कि आप सब लोगों को अभी तक पता चल गया होगा. The answer is fit into your mind. Write the F block elements, lanthanide and actinide series. F block elements are placed at the bottom of the periodic table. Next, again choice based on this. Elements present in the 6th row are. अभी ये क्या है? Let us see the options. How many elements are present in the 6th row? In the previous question, what was given? Which is the longest row? For same row, the question is changed. Elements present in the 6th row now, right? 8, 18, 33, 32. You all know the answer now. The answer is D, 32. See, same information, but it is changed while asking the question. The information is same, single sentence. That there are 32 elements in the 6th row, which is the longest row, but the question patterns are changed. Let us go to next question now. Again based on this periodic table, so the table is kept in front of you. Elements present in the 4th row are. How many elements are present in the 4th row? I purposely have taken some different. हमेशा 6th row और longest हो गया, तो चलो थोड़ा बीच वाला लेते हैं. Elements present in the 4th row are, yes, the solution is 18 elements. Okay, next question. Okay, the elements with atomic number 5 to 10 are known as. Now, are we going to remember all these elements? Where the elements are exactly? See children, these all questions are based on the structure of modern periodic table. तो आपको structure याद रखना होगा. Now atomic number is 5 to 10. See what I have in front of me in my mind now. S, P, D, F block हो गए. Okay. Now comes with the atomic numbers. First period contains 2 elements. So 1 and 2 atomic number is gone there. Second period contains after 2 8. So 2 plus 8 10. So when I am ending with second period, the atomic number is right 10. Okay. When I am ending with first period, the atomic number is 2. When I am ending with second period, the atomic number is 10. And what is the question asked to me here? The elements with atomic number 5 to 10. Okay, so this question is talking about second period. Now how to find out 5 to 10 फिर? ठीक है, फिर अभी options देख लेते हैं. What are the options? Blocks में आ गया. Now you have to find out which block it is. S, P, D and F. I'm sure F block can't be there क्योंकि F block तो bottom में है. D block is in the middle. But if you'll remember the structure, D block second period में है ही नहीं. Right? So two options are gone. Okay? Now remains with S and P block. Now S block is at the left side. So P block is at right side. And after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 10 are placed in the extreme right. Okay? So the answer is yes, P block elements. Okay? So 5 to 10 are with P block elements. Same way, the elements with atomic number 58 to 71 are known as. Now again we have to go with, see, once you know 2, 8, 18, 18, 32, 32, आपको सब याद है अभी. So quickly you can recall also. Or there is another shortcut. Go with this options. Options में क्या दिया है? Transition, non-transition, lanthanide, actinide. Now transition मतलब बीच में आ गया, तो यहाँ पे S, P, D देखने की जरूरत है. Transition बीच में है, तो सिर्फ बीच वाला ब्लॉक देखेंगे. Then we have non-transition. What is it? Okay, let us see. Lanthanide and actinide. Okay, these are the series. So till I am explaining, some students might have got the answer. Okay, if your modern periodic table structure is fit into your mind, yes, the answer is lanthanides. Okay, lanthanides. Lanthanide starts with anyone? Lanthanide starts with, lanthanide का atomic number क्या है? And what are actinides? So here lanthanide starts with 57. 57 to 71 are lanthanide series, and actinide series starts with 89 to 103. So you need to remember this also. Okay, so lanthanide is the correct answer. Next question. The large number of radioactive elements occur in. Now you all know about radioactive elements. Uranium, thorium, plutonium. So many radioactive elements are there. Now these elements have got, when you write their symbol, U, what number you write? Atomic number. Just try to recall this. Now this number, this atomic number, where it will be present? Okay, so think in this way. Okay, so the options are P block elements, S block elements, lanthanides and actinides. Some children might have understood what is the answer now, as I have given you a clue that just go with, आपको मालूम है uranium is radioactive element, तो वो कहाँ पे है? Where it is in the periodic table? Yes. So the correct answer is actinides. All actinides are radioactive elements which starts after 92. Okay, 92 के बाद जो आते हैं, those all are the radioactive elements. Now what are radioactive elements? These elements have got some differences in the nucleus with the neutrons and protons, and that is why they keep emitting some rays. Okay, and that is why they are called as radioactive elements. They undergo some transitions. For 10th standard syllabus we don't have this in detail, but yes, you're going to study this when you go for further study of chemistry. Fine. Next, so here I end with structure of modern periodic table. I hope all the type of questions I have cleared in the modern periodic table. Now in the lesson comes with the periodic trends. और यहाँ पे आके पता चलता है, yes, the lesson is something different and this is very deep lesson to understand. Okay, so don't worry, we will go with every trend. There are many trends, but in standard 10 we are following some trends only. What are periodic trends? The periodic changes which occur. Changes are called as trends here. Okay, so first trend we are taking here, valency. Now here, how you will remember the valency? Valency of an element is determined by the number of electrons present in the outermost shell of its atom. So as we have studied with the period starts with 1 electron in the outermost orbit, then 2, then 3, and it ends with 8. Okay, so these are called as valence electrons. Then again it goes with 1, 2, 3, 8. This already we have seen. Now for valency, what can be the number of electron in the outermost orbit with a minimum number and maximum number? Okay, let us go with 0. Can valency be zero? Can valence electron be zero? No. There cannot be zero electron in the outermost shell. If the shell has to be existed, then there must be minimum 1 electron. Remember. So 1 is the minimum valency. Okay. What can be the maximum valence electron in the outermost orbit? As we have studied about octet rule, so how many electrons can be there in the valence shell? Maximum 8 electrons. Remember. Okay. Now let us understand how to calculate valency. Now these are the number of electrons. We call them as valence electron which are present in the outermost shell. Now if the electron is only one in the outermost shell, then the element try to lose, donate. If 2 are there, try to donate. If 3 are there, try to donate, that is losing of electrons instead of gain. Okay? If 5 are there, then the element will try to gain 3 electrons. Okay? Why? Because it becomes easy for that element to reach the octet state. Remember, every element try to remain stable by reaching to the octet combination, octet configuration. As these electrons can go to the previous shells, they can lose the electron and they can leave one shell and they can go to the previous shell. So for them losing the electron is easy. But for these, gaining the electron is easy to go to reach to the nearest octet shell. And with 8 electron, they do not have any valency because they are completely stable. Now it comes with 4. Abhi 4 wale kya karenge? They are in the middle. So they may lose electron, they may gain electron, and here we generally call it as sharing of electrons. And this is a different type of bond which we are going to learn in third lesson. Okay, this is a different type of bond which they form. But to remember, to recall valency, generally these elements try to gain electrons, lose electron. These elements try to gain electron. This is completely neutral, which we call it as 0. If you remember in this way, then this becomes little easy for you. Valency may be defined as a combining capacity of the atom, not the electrons present in the outermost orbit. Remember children, if electrons are present in the outermost orbit, they are called as valence electrons. But the combining capacity of the atom of an element with atoms of other elements in the group. For example, if 8 electrons in the valence shell, okay, that means they want to go with 8 electrons to complete octet or to complete duplet. Here I have shown you hydrogen, 1 electron in the outermost orbit. Okay, so hydrogen generally share electron. Exception is hydrogen. Instead of losing or gaining, it share the electron. And with oxygen, as 6 electrons are there in the outermost shell, oxygen will like to gain 2 electrons. So this is about valency, the periodic trend. Now again the valency is given here. In a period, the number of electron increases as we move from left to right. The number of valence electron increases from left to right. Okay? Or in a group, in the periodic trend, the electrons remains constant. The valence electron remains same. This is about valency. Let me go to the next one, atomic size. Now what is atomic size? If we will talk regarding maths, it is nothing but center and the outermost point. So this is a radius. Same here is also a radius. The size of an atom is indicated by its radius. And what is radius in an atom? Atomic radius is the distance between the nucleus and the outermost shell. Same like this radius. Okay, easy to remember. Next, how this atomic size is a periodic trend which show the changes. Now if we consider a period, for example, I have considered here second period, and these are the electronic configuration drawn. Okay, it starts with lithium, ends with neon. So lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. And here the electronic configuration is shown to you. Lithium 3 electrons, 4 electrons, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now what happens here? K shell is constant, remember. The first shell is constant. So there is no change in this first shell. But when you come to the outermost shell, the electron is getting added in the outermost shell. Now children, because of this, what happens? as the electron is getting added in the outermost shell, you will see that there is force of attraction between negative and positive, and also there is kind of repulsion also. So this attraction and repulsion both works together till we go, and because of this force, the atomic radius keeps on decreasing when we go to period. From left to right, the atomic radius or the atomic size decreases because the electrons are added in the same shell. Okay, so try to remember, recall this. Now what happens in a group then? When we go in a group, I have taken first group, hydrogen, lithium, then Na and K. First 4 is given here. Hydrogen, 1 electron in the first shell, but lithium shell is increased. When you go to third period, 1 shell is increased. Fourth period, 1 more shell is increased. Due to increase in the shell, the distance between the nucleus and the outermost orbit increases. So surely here atomic radius increases, okay, because of adding of shell, and that is why atomic size goes on increasing in a group. Let us go to next, metallic and non-metallic character. What is metallic character? It refers to the reactivity of a metal. Metal tends to lose the electron. So those elements with 1, 2, 3 electrons in the valence shell are mostly metals because they like to lose electrons. Just now we have seen in valency. Non-metals tend to gain electrons. So those elements having 6, 7, 5 electrons in the outermost orbit, they will like to gain electrons, and they are mostly non-metals. Now in the modern periodic table, what happens? Metallic character periodically decreases because the capacity of losing electron decreases, gaining electron increases. So in a period metallic character decreases, in a group it increases, and exactly opposite of this, non-metallic character in a period increases and non-metallic character in a group decreases. Okay, if we'll make some of these pictures, it becomes little easy for you to remember and recall. Last comes with nothing but zigzag line, because when we are talking about metallic and non-metallic character, zigzag line becomes important to understand. What is this zigzag line? A line which differentiate metals and non-metals in the periodic table. So on the left side you will see these are metals which form cations. The yellow colored are non-metals which form anions as they gain electron, and in between some elements show both the properties of metals as well as non-metals which are present near the zigzag line, and they are called as metalloids. Okay, now here you will see that for a hydrogen yellow color is given, and yellow color is for non-metal. Hydrogen is an exception. It is not a metal, it is a non-metal. Okay, because it does not lose electron. It can't lose electron. It has got only 1 electron. Uska existence hi nahi rahega. Okay, so hydrogen is exception here. That is why it is given with yellow. So this is about metallic and non-metallic characters. Then comes with, in all I have tried to keep it as electronegativity. What is electronegativity? The relative tendency of an atom to attract the shared electron pair of electrons towards itself. Okay, a nucleus tries to attract the electron towards itself, and this is something called as negative. This thing, nucleus जो है वो positive है, electron pairs are negative, so there is some kind of attraction between both of them, and how much attraction is there? It is called as electronegativity. In a period from left to right, the value of electronegativity increases because again electrons are getting added in the same shell. So the distance decreases, electronegativity increases. Rather, because electronegativity increases, atomic radius decreases, atomic size decreases. Okay? While in a group from top to bottom the value of electronegativity decreases क्योंकि shell add हो रहा है, distance बढ़ रहा है, so pull भी बढ़ेगा, it will be increasing, so electronegativity keeps on decreasing. Now to understand this, the arrows are given here. If we consider periodic table, the arrow shows increases. So atomic size increases from right to left. Okay, electronegativity increases from left to right. Ionization energy we don't have, but still it is given here. forming of ions, positive, negative, and this is called as ionizing enthalpy, which are going to study in further classes. Okay, so this is about electronegativity and atomic radius in a group and a period. Okay, now as I have explained you this complete lesson, if you want to go in detailed study of this lesson, you can visit the YouTube channel where I have made the videos, DigiScience, okay, and I am sharing the link also here. The detailed videos are given there and you can go with those all detailed videos. Now MCQ based on the periodic trends. The revision is done. I hope MCQs won't be much difficult for us. So let us go with the MCQs. The maximum valency of an element having atomic number 7. These all are application based questions. These are not informative. Here you have to apply your knowledge. Think and write the answer. Okay. The options are 1, 3, 5 and 7. Now as atomic number is 7, जल्दी से लिखना है हमको. Atomic number 7 है, तो what will be the electronic configuration? 2 electrons and 5 electrons. Now these 5 electrons, 1 minute. These 5 electrons are nothing but the valence electrons which are outside. Okay, and if these are the valence electrons, then they will lose or gain. Valency is different, valence electron is different. Here valence is asked to you. As 5 electrons in the outermost orbit, think about it. 1 can't be there, 7 can't be there. So elimination round ho gaya. When application this question comes, try to eliminate the answers which are not a nearby. 50-50 karna hota hai yahan pe. So B and C with 3 and 5. Okay. So the solution is 3 because the valence electrons are 5. This particular element will try to gain 3 electrons. Element with atomic number 7 is nitrogen, which shows only valency 3. Okay. Let us come to next question. The valency of 18 group element. The valency of 18 group element. Now, as I told you, I have explained you how it is. 18 group means, quickly write down electronic configuration. 2, 8, 8. 1 minute, my pen is not working in between. 2, 8, 8. So outermost क्या हो गया? 2 plus 8, 10 plus 8, 18. Okay. Let us go with, यहाँ पे आंसर 8 है, 8 है, तो हो सकता है 4, 3 जरूरत ही नहीं है. Again elimination, 0 is also there. So what will be the valency here? As 8 electrons in the outermost orbit, the valency is 0 because octet is stable, they will neither gain electron and nor lose electrons. The valence shell of 18 group element is with 8 electrons, hence they neither donate nor gain the electron, thus their valency is 0, and these are called as inert gas elements, noble gas elements. Okay. Next question. The valence shell of element A contains 7 electrons and B contains 1 electron. So now here there are 2 elements given to you, A and B. Valence shell of A के पास 7 electrons है and B के पास 1 electron है in the outermost shell. What will be the formula of the form compound? Okay, AB7, A7B, A3B4, A4B3. Now first thing children, it's not like these together must be 7 as the addition because 7 is given here. So ये नहीं आएगा. This is given for 7 addition. Now either this will be there or this will be there because either I can write A7B or I can write down AB7 with cross. Which one is correct out of this? AB7. Why? Explanation. It can be done by criss-cross rule. Valencies are crossed with each other. In 8th standard also in the formation of compound you have studied this. When compound is formed, the valencies got exchanged with. So it is AB7 as the correct answer. Next we have, in a period, metallic character decreases, increases, remain constant, equal in strength. Now as we have studied trends, we know remain constant and equal in strength nahi hoga. Correct? So generally A or B is the answer, and now we have revised it already. Let us go very quickly with this. Yes, the metallic character decreases, and what is the reason? In a period from left to right, atomic size decreases, tendency to gain electron increases, so metallic character decreases as metallic character is losing of electrons. Okay, satisfied. Let us go to next one. While going from, sorry, here it must be from, while going from, okay, okay. While going from left to right in a period, dash goes on decreasing. Now the same statement, लेकिन क्या decrease हो रहा है वो हमें ढूंढना है. Let us go with the options. Atomic radius, electronegativity, atomic mass, atomic number. Now these two are something different which we didn't go with trends. Atomic mass, atomic number is not a trend actually. It is, and we know that mass and number keeps on increasing always. They cannot be decreased at all, even though you go in a group or you go in a period. Remember. So the options radius or electronegativity as the correct one. Let us see what is the correct option. Atomic radius from left to right. Just now we have discussed it. I've given you how to remember. Atomic radius decreases as electrons are added in the same shell. Electronegativity increases. Atomic mass increases. Atomic number increases. Let us go to next one. While going from top to bottom. Now for the same thing is here. Instead of left to right, from top to bottom. In a group, what goes on decreasing? See children, the same type of question can be asked with the change in word of increasing. So be prepared for both type of. So in two questions I have explained you about 4 or 5 different type of MCQs. Okay. Same options are there. Radius, electronegativity, mass and atomic number. Let us go with the solution. Yes, electronegativity. Atomic radius increases as shells are increasing, but electronegativity decreases as shells are increasing. Atomic mass increases, atomic number increases. Let me go to the next one. The electronic configuration of an element is 2, 6. Its valency is. Here directly the electronic configuration is given to you, so I think it is easy for you to understand. 2, 6, 8 or 0. Correct answer? Yes, you all know it now. 2. Why? Because 2, 6 means 2 electrons it can gain very easily. Next, which of the following elements has the most non-metallic characters? Now instead of giving the left, right, period, group, now metal se de diya hame. Okay, the elements are given to you. C, Li, F and N. See now, first thing is the symbols are given. Try to find out their atomic numbers. Okay, first find out which element is given to you. Right? Sometimes in the bracket the atomic number also might be given to you to make it easy MCQ. I try to keep it as it is so that you can just check out which are the elements given to us. First let us go with the elements. First element is C6, that is carbon, yes, 2, 4. Second is lithium, 3, 2 and 1 is electronic configuration. Fluorine with 9, 2 and 7. And N is nitrogen with 7, 2 and 5. Now how to find out the non-metallic character? Non-metallic character is with gaining electrons. Which element will like to gain electron the most? Which element will like to gain electron the most? The element whose valence electrons are maximum. 4 sharing, 1 less, so like to lose. 5 and 7 can be the answer. From 5 and 7 you can find out. F, fluorine, because fluorine needs only 1 electron and it needs 3. So maximum kaun hoga non-metallic? Fluorine. Okay. Let us go to next one. 22. There are dash electrons in the outermost shell of the alkali metals. Now what are alkali metals? You know that alkaline earth metals are given there. So here the options are 11, 8, 1 and 7. These are the electron numbers given to you, remember. Okay, electron numbers. Now first I will give you these clues. Metals in the first group are called alkali metals. Metals in the second group are called alkaline earth metals. Elements in the 17th group, as you go second last group, they are halogens, and the last is noble. So very first is alkali, then alkaline earth metals, second last is halogen, last is noble, and in between D block will give you transition elements. These are called as transition, and F block is inner transition. Okay, let us go to next one. There are dash to the left side of the zigzag line in the modern periodic table: metals, non-metals, metalloids and noble gases. Okay, see, left side is given, so noble gases can't be there. Metalloids are in between, so रह गया non-metal and metal. So when application based are there, try to eliminate the answers first. Okay, yes, the correct solution is metals toward the left side. The zigzag line separates metals on the left side and non-metals on the right side. Now, this was related to periodic trend. Now, children, you might have understood how you are going to study for it. The last part of the lesson is gradation in halogen family. It is given in very short, but still it is very important because many MCQs can be asked on this. So, let us understand halogen family in ZIST. I have written here halogen group: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. 9, 17, 35, 53, 85. This is a group, 17th group. And the electronic configuration is written. Why this is 17th group? You can see all 7 electrons in the outermost orbit and the shell goes on increasing. Okay. The group 17 contains members of the halogen family. All of them have the general formula X2. Now what is this X2? Cl2, F2, Br2, I2. So always we write it as 2, diatomic molecule. All halogens have 1 electron lace in the outermost shell. As you can see, valence electrons are 7. So they have only 1 electron lace in the outermost orbit to complete their octet. One shell increases top to bottom. Okay. And attraction between nucleus and outermost shell decreases as shell keeps on increasing. So halogen family reactivity decreases. So all the trends of the halogen family I have tried to write here together. You just have to remember these ones. Okay. And based on this I have formed one question here. Find the odd member: hydrogen, helium, neon, argon. You need to remember the names of the halogens. Yes, a simple question, informative question. The question is answer is hydrogen, because rest all are inert gases. Rest all are inert gases. So children, here I have tried to complete the lesson with these 24 different MCQs so that you can understand it well. I hope the session was very useful and informative to you. I hope now your fear factor might have reduced a bit. Just go through the lesson once again. But remember one more thing, only textbook doesn't help it out. You need to go with some reference book to understand MCQs. Try to solve maximum MCQs. In the next session of mine, we are going to meet again. I will come back again with chemistry with third lesson, chemical reactions and equations. Till then, bye bye.